And we have documented protocols for peer observations and pro formas for conducting them also. The 5-week cycle of PD that we've used for literacy has been successful and is also transferable to the numeracy learning as well. We're ready to launch into using this as a vehicle for developing numeracy in our school. Where to next? We have the job of completing our maths plan, filling in many missing gaps. Also further developing rubrics so that we have rubrics for each dimension of numeracy. Next year we'll be having probably about 6 new staff members. So that's positive in that it gives us an opportunity to make a fresh start with those staff, but also it's a challenge to inform them on the procedures that are already in place and the learning that's already happened. We have further numeracy PD to do, and of course monitoring and supporting the Indigenous students. Challenges. Time is a challenge that we all have. Getting teachers on board with planning. A frequent cry has been, but how long does that take to plan and prepare? Getting teachers to see that taking time to consider the prerequisites for a lesson and the individual needs of the students will make hitting the mark for all students much better. Convincing teachers of the benefits of planning together also is another challenge. Sometimes we know that's great, but actually getting into the process and pattern of doing that is more difficult. And of course, tackling the data. Thank you.
Now, I guess everyone can see that there's a lot of similarities between the two school presentations. One of the things that at Thornbury we've got is a real commitment to detailed planning, the planning of what they're doing, and I think that that's sort of part of their culture of doing that. The task that they did, they'd actually done it with literacy. I don't know how common it is to do that, where they'd broken it down, the details of the growth that they're expecting to see of the kids. And they just had all the documents online and they just cut and paste and sorted them out into nice categories. And it only took, not much longer than a morning to actually create the document. Because we've got to recognise that holding all the stuff in your head is really hard in terms of even doing your planning for your teaching, in this case planning for assessment and reporting. And so it was actually a very productive exercise. And by the way, it wouldn't be valuable to just simply say, "God, can we have yours?" It's something you sort of got to do. It's not just have; it's a doing thing. One of the things that also is a characteristic of that school, and I think is a characteristic of this initiative, is the day of week for the learning leaders and the pair and the way that Terry and Joe really collaborate with each other actually seems to me is obviously worth the investment from the region or whoever is providing the resources for it. But that seems to be a stimulus for a bunch of things that are going to happen. There are two, if I can tell two little stories about it. The staff asked me to do some after-school PDs, but one of the things that they were obviously interested in is they were interested in being challenged mathematically. And so we had one of the sessions was really focusing on the pedagogy we were talking about, but I was using quite hard fraction type tasks to really extend them. And then the other one, we actually did quite hard statistics stuff that was really sort of, in a sense, like the statistics was really more or less year 11 stuff. And the fractions was really way into the secondary school text type level. And so but the teachers were really keen to involve in that, even late in the afternoon at the end of the day, and that was really impressive. Another thing that was really impressive about the lessons that we did with the Prep 1 class, there was nothing special about it. It was just trying to get the kids to create something. But at one stage we'd given the kids a task and they were paired up, so a prep kid was with a grade 1 kid and they're going to work on the particular task together. But I noticed a number of the groups where the grade 1 kid was actually taking the role of a really good teacher. You know, can you explain to me what you're trying to do there? With the younger kid. And I thought, wow, those kids have really had some good teaching modelled to them. You know, it was just sort of so fantastic that they dropped into the role of a teacher rather than, oh, here's how you do it, you know, don't be so silly, and so on. And to do that. Another thing I think that it'd be useful to think about from there is their thoughtful use of the data. And not just saying, oh, we're above or below, but really thinking about it, what does it say about individuals? And then that the programs that they've done to use the data to identify individuals and then intervene in some way and then monitor that, I think is a really impressive thing to do. And again, it highlights how valuable that the learning leader time is in order to do that. And one of the other things too is that structured observation that they're engaging in, which actually makes it easier for teachers to say, okay, I'm happy to have someone come in, because they're actually allowing, in a sense, it's a two-way process. It's not just someone's doing something to you, both people are involved in it. And so I think, again, it was just that it's a wonderful, you know, sort of school-based initiative. And I'm sure that learners must be delighted in the quality of the presentations we're seeing. So we're looking forward to seeing the other one. So again, thank Thornbury for their presentation.